Hey guys, yep, back at it again, and this time with Spike and the Q Marker Stairs. And don't worry, Spike is alive and well. Yippee! I also wanted you all to know that I'm mainly doing this AU for fun, and that I'm a teen who has lots of other projects and might not always respond right away, but will in time. I started doing this for as one to kindle my love for My Little Pony FIM G4 that I grew up with, but also to have my own fun twist on the infection AUs. In case you're new, I advise you to watch the other two parts. I have a playlist for it on my channel, all in order for you to see. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. So for Sweet Belle in the AU, I made it where Sweet Belle is bunkered down in the boutique and she's trying to stay positive. Like, she's trying to have a positive outlook, thinking there has to be a way to fix this. And I think out of all the Kingdom Crusaders, she's probably the one with the most hope, hoping that things would go well. And don't mind my little budgies in the background, they're very sassy little children. Anyways, so with that, I made it where she likes to try and help keep the place clean, and how she mainly is just, she hums sometimes while she's cleaning, but not too loud because she doesn't want the vampire ponies outside to come and get her. Oh no, and like have everybody else be in danger. So she hums very quietly while she cleans. But for the most part, she's probably the most being very helpful, and with them finding Scootaloo, she tries to be positive for Scootaloo, like just hoping and saying that Apple Bloom has to be okay, and that if they're like doing okay, and that if Scootaloo is all right, then Apple Bloom has to be okay, and how she has her sibling and family and all that, being trying to stay positive, like what she do. So for that, I just had it where her outfit is a little bit the same like Rarity's, except the only thing that I made different was like just the little designs near the end of the hooves, and having it where she had her own little style. Like, her sister may designed the little outfit, but she can definitely customize it herself. So I also had it where I gave her a little like ribbon bow thing at the end that matches her eye color, so it's like really nice, and I enjoy just coloring them more pastel and pretty like. I was like, because this is all the way up to season 4, so I had to like look up episodes when they got their cutie marks and everything, and season 4 is when they didn't get it yet, so I stuck with that. And she has a little bit of the same colorage as Rarity's design, with a little bit of a blue accent, except I made it where she has more of a pink accent because her colors are more pink and everything. But like, besides that, for the most part, I have it where I think, I think like for the design, like, it's not that much of a change, but it is a little bit of a change. But she really is just vibing. She's doing okay. Like, probably mental wise, she's got the strongest mental health out of all these guys. And maybe no, Pinkie Pie's also suffering. So no one is safe. So besides that though, she's doing pretty okay. She's trying to stay strong because she sees Rarity holding on to hope, which Rarity, we all know how Rarity's actually doing. But Sweet Belle wants to hope, and just, she's trying to be hopeful. She's trying to stay strong. And she's doing probably really well for an apocalypse right now. But yeah, that's basically what I have for Sweetie Belle so far. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the little speed paint. Gave her a little bandage on her nose because variety. Variety on design. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the little pastel look she has. She was probably by far the easiest one. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Alright, now for Scootaloo, Scootaloo is just, she's having full of anxiety. Like, she's just scared to death over, like, what she saw from her aunts. And I'm gonna get to that in just a second over what actually happened. Woo, trauma for a child. Hooray. Anyway, Pinky found her and she brought her back, but she had this bite on her leg, and it was obvious it was from one of the vampire ponies. And so what they did was that they amputated her leg so that she wouldn't get the infection. You know, what the blood bite syndrome. You know, to just prevent her from becoming another one of those. None of them know about Rainbow Dash being dead, and Scootaloo is just anxiety-ridden because her closest family members is Rainbow Dash and her aunties, and ooh boy, it's not going so well. So yeah, she's just having anxiety-ridden, and Sweetie Belle's trying to comfort her and trying to be hopeful, you know, like how I said before. And Scootaloo is just she just has this quiet-ridden anxiety that is just, she's not saying fully why, but it's not to the point where it's obvious that she's hiding something. It's just where she's having a lot of anxiety, and it can be assumed for over what's going on, which is, yeah, 100% reasonable, even though there's something secret I have. But you know, you'll see in a second. Anyways, for what happened was that Scootaloo was staying with her aunties and was having a normal day before things went south. She woke up hearing banging and muttering in the late dead of the night, and went downstairs and saw Auntie Lofty attacking Aunt Holiday. Scootaloo froze in fear, seeing her Aunt Lofty now having bone and webbing, covered in blood with narrow eyes and blood-stained fur, with sharp canine teeth, blood from her Aunt Holiday, pale on the ground. Scootaloo didn't know what to think, and when Aunt Lofty saw her, there was only a second before she lunged, and Scootaloo ducked and was terrified and frozen out of fear. Her auntie crashed into the wall before getting up. No matter how much it hurt, she lunged to Scootaloo again. But out of trying to get out of Aunt Lofty's grasp, she got bit on the leg and had to kick her auntie in the head to make her let go. Scootaloo ran and found a place under where her auntie would usually sew quilts, and she stayed quiet, trying not to make a sound. She had no idea how long she was there, but it felt like time was going by so fast. She was so scared. Her eyes were watery from tears, but she couldn't let herself cry out until it was safe. It felt like hours. Scootaloo felt pain in her head. She thought it must have been from the hit that she felt from the pain, but she just assumed it was nothing, and that she just had pain in her leg was from the bite. She was terrified, and she tried to peek out if any pony was there, and there was nothing but the scene of her dead Aunt Holiday. Scootaloo stayed at her home, scared of what laid outside, and heard noise coming closer. She hid under the table, but when they got close, the light flashed on her from a flashlight, and there she saw a pony she trusted, Pinkie Pie. After that, Pinkie Pie took Scootaloo to the boutique and amputated her leg. Those who get bit take around 5 days to get fully infected, and before Scootaloo got amputated, she had been bit for 2 days. She told them that she wasn't bit for long, probably best off like a few hours ago. She lied to them, and she's terrified if she becomes one of them. She's honestly scared to death about it, and she's terrified over it, because she's just scared. She saw her aunt literally kill her other auntie, And now she doesn't know. She doesn't know if her other family is safe, aka Rainbow Dash, who we all know is dead. So she's highly stressed. So she's just quietly having her panic attack. Just nobody picks it up that it's from the fact that she got bit from a couple of days ago. And her getting amputated definitely stopped it. Now, the idea of her being immune is something, but I'm not going to fully say details, because I definitely have a wonderful reason for how this all happened, and it's it's silly in my opinion, and it's so simple, but honestly, I just like the fact that it's a silly detail. I'm not going to spoil it, but I had lots of fun designing her. Doing her colors, I wanted to also inspire off of Rainbow Dash in design, and what I did was I had a ref, as you can tell. I kept going back in between, and when I was drawing the Cutie Mark Crusaders, I had it where I was making them a bit shorter. I don't know if that's obvious, but I did that, and having it where they're a lot more like more childlike. Like you can tell there's more like because little children aren't full on like slender more looking as they get older, like with the more mature type of body. Instead they're just like a little baby. So I had it where I like designed it where like that. I had fun just giving her the little design, and then like I gave her near the same pattern as Rainbow Dash did with the hooves and everything. And then maybe you can see a hint of the lore from the thumbnail. Just maybe you can see a little something if you just want to go and try and discover the lore of this. But for now, I just had a lot of fun just designing her. And the person who said for Pinkie Pie having your tail on for Pinkie Sense, I realized that after I was rewatching a few episodes, and also by that comment. So yeah, it's definitely because of Pinkie Sense. Yeah, it's definitely because Pinkie Pie has Spidey sense. Yeah, there we go. There's the reason. Yippee! But for now, we just have a little scared Scootaloo who's scared to death over becoming one of them, and she is scared. Like, she's terrified, like straight up. Like, a lot of people make her brave, but if you ever watch the camping episodes of her going to, like camping out with like Sweet Belle, Apple Bloom, Rarity, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash, she's terrified, and like both of them, like she's easily scared than the others. So I'd love for people also to take note of that for her character, because when I had to design these guys, I literally went back to rewatch the episodes, so I knew, who they are, what they would do, like, get a full-on, complicated character understanding of them. But anyways, for the rest of this, I hope you like it, and hope you enjoy the little rest of her ref. Alright, now on to Apple Bloom. So Apple Bloom is bunkered down at the barn with the rest of her family and is with Applejack, and don't worry, Big Mac is also okay. She is trying her best to stay strong. She's scared, yeah, but she is trying to stay strong because she wants to help her family and she wants to help keep them all safe, and she definitely wants to know if her friends are okay. So, while she might be scared inside, she wants to help. She really wants to help. And so she like kind of begs Applejack to just be a lookout, and she's not like outside the barn. She's like inside on probably one of the upper levels on like by a window, just like watching out, you know, in case she sees any of the ones who are infected with the blood bite syndrome. So she is mainly doing okay. She's doing great. I was trying to decide if I was gonna let her die or not, but out of a lot of people who just most of the time kill off the Cutie Mark Crusaders, don't worry, they are doing okay for now. But they're doing okay. So she mainly has it where she is trying her best. She's trying so hard. She's watching Applejack just make sure she's not going to lose another family member. And she knows that full on because of how overprotective she's being with Apple Bloom, but not to the point where she's trying to make it obvious that she is definitely kind of stressed out about what's going on. Big Mac goes over and he does the supply runs. They may have a farm, but they also need specific foods, like, oh, I don't know, to make food. You know, they're maybe gonna run out of specific things. They mainly grow apples, yeah, and sometimes corn from the one episode with Discord, but they also kind of need other things, you know, like they may have like everything that they need, but supplies like keeping them safe and everything, like tools and stuff, maybe wood in case like to barricade, like the stuff that's outside of a farm, they still kind of need. So with that, Big Mac he gets the supplies, and Apple Bloom is another lookout. Applejack does look out, but she's also at the same time highly busy trying to also help Twilight out, because Twilight is, she's mentally unstable. Like, she's not to the point where everybody makes her crazy. No, she's just depressed and she's stressed and she feels terrible for what she did and a whole bunch of other things. But for the most part, Apple Bloom wants to show that she has strength and that she can do this. And her main weapon I gave her is a rake, because rakes can be pretty well weapons. I don't know if you've ever had a rake in your life, but if you have, you could definitely hit somebody with it. you could hit someone with it, and it probably hurt them very badly. So rake's a good weapon in my opinion. She has a little scar on her face, probably from bunkering down the barn. But for the most part, she's doing good. But what's interesting is that Big Mac came back from one of his supply runs, and he said that he thought he saw some royal guards, aka the ones that you would find in, you know, Canterlot with the golden armor, because the golden armor is very recognizable. He didn't get too close because they seemed in a rush and he didn't know if they were infected or not. So he just stayed back and, you know, tried to survive and had to go back to his family. So Twilight is having a bit of hope that maybe just maybe that the princess knows and that she's trying to help. And Applejack has a bit hope on that, and she wants Twilight to try and not have a mental breakdown, because Applejack is one of those characters that's like a support. Just basically the one that's like, don't worry. don't worry. You know, the mom of the group, like how she's called, the mother. So for Apple Bloom's ref now then, I designed her basically, kind of, not really. I used the design I already had off of the one cover that I'm thinking about remaking for Pinky's Brew, and it's recalled something because if you know friendship is witchcraft, then you know the history with the word for what Pinky does. So I don't want to get too into it, but I'm just gonna say that real quick. Anyways, I just used the little design I had for Apple Bloom in that because I liked the colors in it, and I just gave her more of also a Appaloosa look. You know, Appaloosa horses. What the heck? Horses. Appaloosa horses. Hee. Ooh, the design. Woo. You know, and I had fun giving her this warm, like, I just like making a more warm colored tone. Like, if they have a warm color tone, I like to put in the warm color tone. And so far, all their bandages are like the same color. And then I gave her this little like bandana, and I like put a small little pattern on it. But like, you know, like she's brave. She's being brave because that's who Apple Bloom is. She's gonna try and be brave for her family and friends that she cares about. So basically, that's pretty much what I have for now for her. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the speed paint of her. Now on to the one that you all weren't expecting, because in most AUs, people kill Spike, because Spike's the one who gets infected for some reason first. Anyways, don't worry, in this one, he's alive, and he's doing okay. He's a survivor. He's doing great. So far, he's in the Golden Oak Library, because it's before the library gets destroyed. Basically, it's up to season 4, and then everything that is before the next episode of like Bats. So it's basically all the lore all the way up to Bats. That's the lore for this. So he's doing great, and he has Aloysius. Yes, Aloysius is here. Yippee. Aloysius is doing great. She's being a lookout. So don't worry about that. Him and Aloysius are working together because they are also highly concerned for Twilight. Because last he knew, Twilight went to Applejack's for a bit, and then she hasn't returned, and then he sees what's going on in Ponyville, and yeah, he's worried for Twilight. He's worried for all the ones he cares about, all the loved ones. I have it where he has a little bit of the same design of the bandages and everything, but for the most part, he's surviving. And for the lore, recently he got a letter from the princesses stating that guards would come and see what's happening to Ponyville, since the last letter that she got from Twilight was about the outbreak when Flutterbat attacked Rainbow Dash. And like when Spike saw the guards, they seemed a bit off, like a little concerning, maybe even hurt. But he's just hoping Twilight's okay more than anything. He's just hoping and praying that Twilight's alright, and then he's hoping that they'll be able to fix this mess and everything's gonna be okay, because it's definitely a Spike thing to want. Anyway, that's like an everybody thing to want. But anyways, I had fun just drawing little dragon Spike. But for his design, I had it where I also made it where he has more vibrant colors a bit, you know, like it's nice warm, it's in my style, my art style, yay. And I had it where he's very cautious, like he's staying cautious, but he's fine, he's surviving, he's vibing, he's doing good. But I had fun just like drawing a dragon, besides of like just drawing ponies for the most part. And everybody's saying about the Crystal Empire. So the thing is about the Crystal Empire, if you've ever watched My Little Pony, like if you've watched it, if you watched the parts for the Crystal Empire, basically just around 98% or 97 is just Earth ponies. Like, believe me when I say this, I straight up went to go watch the episodes, and there was no Pegasus of a crystal pony. Nowhere. No Earth, there were 100% Earth ponies, but like, barely, there was no unicorns. I saw, the only unicorn was, Shining Armor, and then the only, basically, one who would have Pegasus magic would be Cadence. And then this is before Flurry Heart is born. So, I want to say about a year before. So, or something like that. You know, a good distance. So she wouldn't also be pregnant with Flurry Heart. So, basically, the only one who can get infected would be Cadence. She's the only one that could get infected. And so far, it hasn't spread out. Like, if you ever looked up the map of Equestria as well, it's a good distance away. So they're safe. They're fine. They're vibing. Honestly, if the blood bite syndrome got over there, the only one who could be infected and get the blood bite syndrome would be Cadence. And then everybody else is like a buffet. Like, it's a full-on buffet for those who are infected. Like, it's all Earth ponies. It's all Earth ponies and one unicorn. Like, bro, they would just see it as a buffet. So yeah, Crystal Empire hasn't spread out that much. So they're fine. They're doing okay. I'm not gonna say how Luna and Celestia are doing though. That's a whole other topic for another day that I'm going to let you be worried and constantly think about what's going on with them. Because that's evil me doing those things. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But besides that, Spike's doing alright. Spike's surviving. Because he needs to survive, unlike in other AUs. I understand. But, like, and no hate to them. No full hate. It's just I also want to make it different and have some different details. Like a lot of the time people have the cutie mark crusaders, where ones that leave 1 or 2, or at least infected most of the time. And then Spike's, most of the time, he's dead. So in this one, don't worry about it. They're okay. For the most part. I'm not going to mention how Scootaloo's doing. But you know what, you already heard how Scootaloo's doing. But I'm not going to say any more besides that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I have the refs at the end of the video. Don't use any of my art unless you ask, and don't use it at all unless you ask me. That is straight up it. And credit if I allow you to use it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember that if a lot of you guys like this and you want another one, I do have plans for the story and everything. And make sure to remember, if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna do the opposite of it, because I don't like being told by people of what to do. So if you have ideas, just recommend them. Don't push it, just recommend it, okay? And if you want more, just ask nicely, okay? Thank you. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, bye!